Prasar Bharati, in collaboration with National Book Trust India, presents Story Lounge on All India Radio.
Contrary to popular perception, reading habits are not on the wane due to multiple sources of information emerging on digital platforms. Yet, book publishing is on a downslide. This ultimately affects people who are on the wrong side of the digital divide and cannot afford new gadgets. To support them, Prasar Bharati and National Book Trust have come together to promote books over the radio, which is an affordable medium in the context of our socio-economic milieu.
Today we have for you a story about tea in our program Story Lounge. It's an adventure story set in the background of tea gardens and explains all about the growing and processing of tea. This is authored by Anup Kumar Datta.
Hello everyone, I am Arup Kumar Datta. Today I'll tell you about my book, A Story About Tea. The book is illustrated by Mrinal Mitra. As the title implies, the book informs you about the most popular hot beverage in the world, tea. It tells about how tea plants are cultivated, the leaves plucked and dried, and then converted in the factory to the black or brown granules that we brew for drinking. Now, don't turn away. A Story About Tea is not a book on botany. It is, in fact, a thrilling adventure story about a group of gutsy young children who used their brains to help the authorities nab a bunch of thugs. The information about tea is woven within the adventure story. Rajveer Singh, a Sikh boy, and Pranjal Borua, a youngster from Assam, study in the same school in Delhi and are the best of friends. Pranjal's father is the manager of the Dhekiabari Tea Garden in the northeast Indian state of Assam. During the summer vacation, Pranjal invites Rajveer to come with him to Assam, and his friend accepts. Arriving at Dhekiabari, apart from Pranjal's parents and his sister Alka, Rajveer also meets Mongla, son of Bircha, the watchman of the tea garden. In the past, Pranjal and Mongla had shared many adventures together, and they were in for another one this time too, playing games, swimming, and fishing in the nearby river. Rajveer imagined that tea garden life was a quiet one, but he was in for a surprise. First came the news of a leopard which was prowling about at night in the garden. A tea worker, Sawana, had sighted the leopard. The animal, according to Sawana, had killed one of the bulls and dragged the carcass away. Pranjal's father kept vigil for 3 nights, rifle in hand, but failed to spot the animal. More excitement was to come. 50 tea chests, packed with high-quality tea worth lakhs of rupees, which had been stored in the garden warehouse, ready to be dispatched to the tea auction center, had mysteriously vanished overnight. The minute Bircha came running with the news to the bungalow that morning, Pranjal, Rajveer and Alka, all avid readers of detective stories, were at the warehouse hunting for clues, and Mongla soon joined them. Their search yielded 2 possible clues: a couple of muddy footprints on the wooden floor and a lump of yellow clay. The children considered these to be significant. It had not rained for a couple of days, and the ground outside was baked by the summer sun, so the muddy footprints raised suspicion. Also, the lump of clay was not similar to the soil of the garden. A little later, the police arrived. They were baffled at the fact that though the door of the warehouse had remained locked and closed throughout the night, and a watchman had been posted at the spot till morning, 50 large teachers could mysteriously vanish. The children offered to show the officer in charge of the police the clues they had found, but he rudely brushed them off by saying, "Catching criminals is no child's play." Since the warehouse door had remained locked and the watchman Bircha had the only keys, the police came to the conclusion that he had actively helped in the crime. They arrested Mongla's father and the garden's dispatch clerk and took them to the local police thana for questioning. Mongla was distraught. He knew that his father, who had worked over 20 years in the garden, was innocent. The children put their heads together and tried to solve the puzzle. If the door had not been opened, and there were no sign of forced entry through the wall or the roof, only one other possibility was there. The robbers must have tunneled through the floor. They searched the warehouse carefully once again. Sure enough, a large square trapdoor had been carefully cut on the wooden floor so as to make a kind of trapdoor. When they raised it, a hollow tunnel could be seen underneath. The thugs had carefully placed the dispatch table over the trapdoor to conceal its presence. The children reasoned that since the tea chests were heavy and carrying them difficult, the tunnel could not be very long, and an exit could not be far from the warehouse. It was Rasbir who suggested that the robbers must have headed towards the river, because that was the quickest and safest route to transport the tea chest somewhere else. Alka agreed, pointing out that the river's bank had yellow clay as soil. On the pretext of going fishing, the children searched the river bank. Indeed, there was a boat tied to the bank, concealed with broken twigs and leaves. Cutting a straight path from the spot towards the warehouse, they discovered the exit to the tunnel, cleverly concealed with shrubs and creepers. It must have taken many nights to stealthily dig that tunnel, which made Mongla suspect that Sawana, who had spread the story of the leopard to scare the tea workers to stay in their homes at night, was hand in gloves with the robbers. To cut a long story short, Pranjal's father, when apprised of what the children had discovered, contacted the police to set a trap. Because of the theft, the tea chests had been kept within the factory. Now he had them carried to the empty warehouse to be stored there. The robbers took the bait. When, in the dead of the night, the trapdoor creaked open and two hefty men clambered out, they were grabbed by the policeman stationed there. Sawana was caught near the tunnel's exit, waiting with his bullock cart to carry the chest away. On the river bank, the rest of the gang were apprehended, waiting on the boat. After questioning them, the police could recover from a warehouse in the nearby town the tea chest stolen earlier. It had been the best summer vacation Rasbir ever had.
You were listening to Story Lounge, produced by the World Service of All India Radio on behalf of Prasar Bharati in association with National Book Trust, India.
Story Lounge comes to you every day, same time, same channel.